com. Glad to have you aboard with us here as we get this Friday started off right, y'all. A little chilly Friday, man. Actually feels like, feels like a winter day that we're almost to Christmas. So, a couple things. Good news for the LSU football Tigers. Javian Toviano, four-star cornerback. Actually, some of the services have him as a five-star. Commits to LSU. It was expected, but still pretty awesome to get him. On the same day that Jalen Davis Robinson, cornerback from last year's class, entered the transfer portal. So, as of right now, for next year, you have two scholarship cornerbacks on the roster. You got Seven Banks and LaTerrence Welch. That's it. Of course, Jarpin Converse, Mekhi Gardner, Colby Richardson, they're all out of eligibility. Jay Ward, who could play some corner, obviously safety, is going to the draft. Demarius McGee, Raydarius Jones, Jalen Davis Robinson have now all entered the portal. So you're down to LaTerrence Welch and Seven Banks, who's been injured. So we've been talking about this. LSU's going to have to hit the portal for cornerbacks, but the way that you rebuild that room to where you don't have to go get veteran corners every year just to patch that position is you get players like Javian Toviano, right? You get these five-star guys that can play right away, and maybe you supplement next year with some veterans. And then by the time you get to 2024, Toviano, and if you get Desmond Ricks, who's a five-star, highest-ranked uncommitted corner in the country right now, Welch comes along. Now you've rebuilt that room through the high school ranks, and now you can supplement behind them with depth, with young depth, right? So that's big, man. That's a big get. They were expecting to get him. He was a heavy LSU lean, as is Desmond Ricks, but really good. I mean, it was important to get him. They did. So that's one. The baseball Tigers got a commitment from Connor Griffin, who I know some of y'all are going to roll your eyes, and I thought about it a little bit yesterday in AFR, but Connor Griffin is, he was a 2025 prospect, okay? He reclassified to 2024. So he's a sophomore in high school right now, but he's going to graduate after 3 years. So he's graduating after next year. I had the person in baseball that I trust the most, who's a longtime scout, who is like, when I'm telling you, like literally the person who is the most respected person in baseball that I personally know, said Connor Griffin is the best prospect he has ever scouted in this region, ever. And that means like the whole Southeast, basically, ever in 30 years. Best prospect he's ever scouted. He said, this kid is, if he had to draft today, he would take Connor Griffin today at 16 years old over Dylan Cruz. You could roll your eyes and laugh at it. I told Musa that, and he was like, I'm like, hey, bro. Right now, Connor Griffin is faster in the 60. He's 6'4", by the way. He's faster in the 60 than Dylan Cruz by 3 steps. And he's got a better arm today at 16. They had to have an exemption for him to play in a junior national showcase as a freshman, and he was the best player there. The way it was told to me, he is Bryce Harper, he is Josh Hamilton. Like, he's that guy. And so the never goes, okay, well, that's great, but you're never getting him to campus. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not saying it's a definite, okay? I'm not saying it's a definite, okay? Look, there's Rode Ewell said he will never make it to campus. I'm telling you, I'm just here to tell you, it is not, with Connor Griffin, it is not so cut and dried as to say he's going to be a high pick, he'll never make it to campus. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying it's a certainty. I'm not saying he absolutely shows up. But what I'm telling you is his dad is a coach and an administrator. His mom is a high school teacher. Not only valuing academics, but I think there are going to be other factors at play that could be a compelling reason for him to say, hey, don't go ride a bus at 17 years old, right? For 3 years or whatever it is. Make a whole pile of money in college, win national championships, develop for 3 years, and make the same amount of money. And it's not just the money, there's some other factors at play. But anyway, I'm just telling you, that's going to be an interesting one to watch and a really potentially fun one too. Nobody would ever thought Dylan Cruz would have showed up on campus. Nobody would ever thought Alex Bregman would have showed up on campus. It happens, man. Some of them happen. So anyway, okay, let's say some good mornings here. Pels lost last night in overtime to the Jazz. That's a bummer. This game, it felt like they were in control for the majority of that game too. But anyway. Okay, here we go. Ryan Amanda Guidry, good morning. Deborah Coward, good morning. Rodeo. Stephen Miller, good morning. Got that safety orange. Hey, bro. These are crew shirts for Hudco. They're the dry fit, but you're right, bro. That ain't orange. That's orange, bro. That is you see us coming down the street. That's the safety orange. Hey, Dad, good morning. Let's see, Stephen Miller, it's all about the upbringing. Money isn't the factor for every kid and parents. Great point. Like, something that a lot of people probably don't know about Dylan Cruz is that Dylan's family is Dylan's dad, George, does well, does really well. So it wasn't like he was willing to say, all right, we're going to go to school for 3 years, and instead of being a first rounder, solidify maybe the number 1 overall pick. And that's a potential $6 million decision, right? So, but it's true. Let's see. Bubba Smith, I'm just telling you, I get it. Your reaction is the same reaction I had. He'll never show up on campus. I get it. I'm just telling you, it's way more like Crawford last year was never showing up on campus. We knew it. Dude was always going pro. And that's cool. I get it. I'm just telling you, there's more factors at play with this kid than just he's going to be a top pick and he's going to go out of high school and take the money. I'm just telling you, there's more to it. He may end up signing. But you may also end up, if he hires Scott Boras as his agent, great. Because one of two things has happened. He's either going to break a record on the amount of money he gets, or teams are going to go, go spend 3 years in school. And then he'll break a record after that. All right. Stephen, playing in the SEC is basically AA ball, treated like royalty compared to playing in front of 100 people or so. There is an appeal to that, for sure. When you play to places like you're flying charter, you're staying in nice hotels, you're playing in front of 10,000 people, you're playing meaningful games. Yes, that is a very, very valid condition for a lot of guys. That's absolutely true. And really when that changed too is when college baseball deadened the bats. I hate to say it that way because it, in some respects, took a lot of offense out of the game of college baseball, made it a lot of fun, but it made it more closely resemble minor league ball, which made it easier to evaluate for the next level. So guys could develop in college, and instead of riding a bus playing for the was it the baby cakes or what, you know what I mean. Wendell Norman, Guy Brooks, Nicholas Cantrell, Carter Harris, good morning. Cody Kibido, good morning. I have to imagine the low cornerback numbers make LSU an appealing option for transfers given the strong chance of a starting spot. Absolutely. That's 100% the main selling point, which is we lost our top 4 guys. We had 2 guys back, and one of them's been hurt for 2 years. The other didn't, or the other redshirt. Come on, like you got a spot. Come on. Same thing for the elite high school guys too. Bradley Ingrafia, good morning. Trivia Carter, Zach Swan, Jason H, Joseph Feltwell, good morning. Since we can't trade Michael Thomas, is there a relationship issue between he and Sean that would prevent him from coming back? No, not at all. All that's kosher. But, Mike Triplett made an interesting point on AFR yesterday. He essentially said that they're going to decide on Mike Thomas based on his ability to help the team, not based on money. Like they'll make the cap work however they have to do it. But man, like next year, so his cap hit is $28 million. His dead cap number is 25. So no matter what, he's going to cost you $25 million against the cap. But his cash value is 15.5. So basically, Mrs. Benson has to decide, do we want to pay Michael Thomas $15.5 million next year? Or do we cut him, and he's got the guaranteed money on his deal paid out? Do you cut him, eat $25 million against the cap this year, $13 million in 23, and then $13 million against cap 24? Which is an interesting question and a decision they're going to have to make. Because no matter what, Michael Thomas is costing you $25.4 million against the cap next year. No matter what. Jay Geiger, good morning, Pat. Huseman, Brian Wynn, what's up? YouTube, please smash that like button as always. Facebook, like the page, share the post. Bradley, Matt, why do you think Alabama, has a lot of players leaving? Because to me, unless I'm wrong, it's been some times now since you've seen Bama players transferring like they are right now. Now, Bradley, look, man, when you recruit like that and you have highly regarded guys that find themselves in the wash and don't play, they're going to go find places to play. That's just a symptom of being that program. They also have the number 1 recruiting class in the country right now. So, I mean, LSU's got 13 guys in the portal. It's all guys that don't play. Aaron Anderson was a 5-star, but he played in 1 game last year against Austin Peay. Great. Hopefully it's LSU's game. Armstrong Grappling, surprised by how many LSU fans are hoping Jaden declares for the draft. Outside of Louisiana, Daniels is highly respected. That's a point I've made quite often. I was talking about actually with T-Bob on Scone and T Wednesday, which it's odd because usually you have the reverse, right? Usually you have fans arguing their players being disrespected nationally. In this instance, it's LSU fans that, it's not all, let's be clear, not all. But some are kind of hoping Daniels moves on. And nationally, it's like, that dude's awesome. What are y'all talking about? It's interesting. Bradley said, I'm asking, do you think the fall of Alabama is starting to happen? No, I do not. Trivia, how cold is it in Louisiana? Go to my hometown for a family get-together. Okay, I don't know what the temperature is right now. Trivia, I think we got into the 40s last night, like maybe 42, 45, something like that. Matt Gardner, what do you think about Breeze coaching the Citrus Bowl? Yeah, man, so I probably should put that in there as well. I think it's brilliant by Purdue because, look at the sort of, the kind of fragile state of, I don't want to say the program, but the team. So Jeff Brom leaves and takes with him, I think, 3 of his assistants. 2 or 3. So you're preparing for this bowl game. Your head coach is gone. Take some of the assistants. You got the new coach coming in, but he's not participating in the bowl prep or any of that sort of stuff. And then yesterday, I don't know if y'all saw it, but 4 players from Purdue opted out of the bowl game including their 3 best offensive players, among whom is their 6th-year senior quarterback, Aiden O'Connell, and their receiver who, man, oh, that's interesting. Purdue's going to hire Graham Harrell as their offensive coordinator from West Virginia. That's interesting. So Aiden O'Connell, their 6th-year senior starting quarterback, has opted out of the bowl game. Their number 1 receiver, who Charlie Jones, he was an Iowa transfer, who led the nation in receptions and receiving yards, he opted out. Payne Durham, who's their starting tight end, all-conference, 2nd leading receiver, he opted out. And then Corey Trice, who's one of their cornerbacks, who's honorable mention All Big Ten, he opted out. So that's just a whole bunch of body blows. So bringing Drew Brees in, if nothing else, brings some juice and some energy, and he can recruit, right? Because they got a waiver to let him recruit here in this interim basis. Hi, bud. Somebody decided he wanted to wake up at 6 o'clock this morning.
No, Dad's show.
Normally I have to wake him up to go to school. After Dad's show, we're going to get dressed and we're going to go for our Dad's car to the New St. Lillian. New St. You want to come say hi to Dad's show? Come on. Let me get my hands on you. Get my hands on you. Okay. The smoke alarm's chirping in there. All right, smash that like button if you would. It's always brought to you by Brock, the Baton Rouge, you say it, Orthopedic Clinic, Hoodco,
Roofing.
and Hoodco,
Roofing.com.
HoodcoRoofing.com, Restored Motions and RestoredMotions.com, huh? Brian Arsenault. So Purdue will be like LSU in the 2022 bowl game. It's an exact comparison draw. Like they're in a similar situation that LSU was last year for the Texas Bowl. Yes, low numbers, backups everywhere. The line's ballooned to 14. Yes, it's a bad situation for them. Mark, Pelicans lose 2 in a row in Utah. How much of an advantage is elevation in Utah? You know, that's a good question. Earlier this week we had Antonio Daniels on the show. He said that's the hardest road venue that in the NBA. He said he thought it as a player and thinks it as an analyst now. It's interesting. Let's see. Did Title IX eliminate junior varsity sports when it was enacted? Good question. I don't know that if it was Title IX or just the cost. I really don't know the answer to that. Ryan Amanda Guidry said, hey, Drew. David Nolting said, good morning, Drew. Michael Ongeron said, good morning, Drew. Brian Arsenault said, oh my, he is growing up. He is, man. He's 8. Well, 8. Nah, he turned 8 in July. So he's like 8.5 now. You know. Huh. It's my boy. Oh, the smoke alarm's chirping. That annoys me so much. With the change. Okay. Busy day here at the Scone household. We're going to bring Drew to work or to school. Then Daddy's going to go work out. Then I got to come home because River City's 1 hour air is coming to do our heater safety check. Huh. Burp, 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 burp. The little dude's feeling better. He'd been out of school all week because he was sick. Drew was sick. Huh. You feeling better now, huh? Got you feeling better now, huh? You like a rooster? You mohawk?
Nothing.
All right. Afternoon, St. Lily, who's coming to pick you up? Who's coming to pick you up? Mimi pick you up and take you to? Mimi's house. Who you think you're going to see at Mimi's house? Papa. What's Papa going to? Is he going to play bird? Where's the bird going to land? Boop. Is that what Papa does? Plays bird? Says, hey, dude. Huh.
No.
Okay. All right, we'll see you later. All right. Nicholas Cantrell, Scone, who are you betting on today? I'll tell you, sharp play on the bowl game today is Troy. I got it at +2. Saw it last night at +1. I don't know if it's moved again. But if you're interested, that's one. Troy's playing UTSA. Sharp play is Troy. If you can get it at 2, get it at 2. And I know Steven's watching. So that's your king of Maction right there. So and Miami of Ohio plays at 10:30 a.m. Central to kick off in the Bahamas Bowl to kick off the bowl action against UAB. So if he's got a pick, but otherwise the only one I'm telling you that the 2 games say that Troy +2 is the sharp play. So I have a nice bet on Troy +2. Been a while since Drew did around the SEC. I'll get him to come back and do it. Hey, Drew, come see. Spurge, good morning. Edward O, good morning. LSU missed on several portal guys. Is that a concern? So maybe the most notable one is Morlock, the tight end out of Shorter University, the Division II All-American. He committed to Florida State yesterday. So LSU's going to see him in the opener, unfortunately, just wearing the wrong colors. No, look, there's plenty of guys out there. You dole out your offers. You make sure you address positions of need. And again, I'm going to remind you again, there is another portal window after spring. So they're not going to be done with this early signing period. So just be mindful. It's a long game. Brian Williams, morning, Matt. Rye whiskey question. Have you tried Whistle Pig? If I tried Whistle Pig, I mean, I got 6 bottles, 10 barrel picks, 12. I got the Boss Hog up there. Heck yeah, dude. And I'm a rye guy. So yes, Whistle Pig's fantastic. It's gone up in price a lot. I would tell you, for the value, stick with the 10-year. The 12-year-old world is good. It's lower proof, but it's gotten up to like 120, 130 bucks. The 15 years like 180. The Boss Hogs are like 400 bucks, 500 bucks. I mean, the 18 I think is 300 bucks. It's pricey, man, but it's really good. Trey Guy, good morning. Does LSU land Harris and Ricks? I don't know. Look, I know Denver Harris was on campus. He had it on his IG story, taking his visit. There's no denying the caliber of the player at a position of need. Guy's also, was a knucklehead, was smoking weed in the locker room, and he was suspended for missing curfew and being a knucklehead, doing an IG live, speeding through a parking garage. Knucklehead, man. If they feel like they can get him on the straight and narrow, the talent's undeniable. Reed Rule, happy Friday. Arizona and Kansas basketball got very minor penalties that give us hope for lesser punishment was Wade the sacrifice. Yes, I mean, that was always the case, is that the NCAA wanted Will Wade. They're going to hammer him. Look, Book Richardson got a 10-year show cause. Will Wade's probably going to get the same. My hope is that, the thing I'll tell you, though, is that Cincinnati did get a postseason ban, and Arizona self-imposed a postseason ban. I'm still going to maintain that LSU is going to get a 1-year postseason ban. But hopefully nothing more severe than that. Sean Comiskey, good morning. Drew looks happy this morning. Hope Santa treats him well. Yeah, thanks, man. Reed Rule, Team Drew, as always. Brandon, good morning. Matt and Drew. Drew must be feeling better if he's going to school. Yes, he's feeling better today. Thank you. Don't care about Purdue shortfalls. Happy to get that 10-win season. Yeah, man. Look. Purdue had something similar happen last year, and they ended up beating Tennessee in the bowl game. So you can't sleep on them. But, I mean, LSU's odds of winning this game just went up dramatically, yes. Lawrence Burley, Jason H., Trey Guy, Thomas Lamont, good morning. What's Santa bringing Drew for Christmas? It's tough because Drew doesn't want anything. You know what I mean? He doesn't ask Santa for anything. So we kind of have to guess what he might like and then ask Santa, for Drew. But he's always happy. So, Field Guy 316. I don't like the idea of Breeze coaching against LSU. The one game his info could help a lot against LSU. I think you're overthinking it a little bit. I'm assuming because you think he knows LSU, which I think he does. His kids love LSU. I mean, with Odell going to Newman and the kids going to Newman and being, yes, that's pretty well known that his kids love LSU. But I'm not going to overstate that, man. I mean, Breeze jumping in on a, you know, a 2-week little interim basis. It's more of a, hey, come bring some good vibes. You know, maybe work with our guys a little bit. I mean, I don't know that Breeze becomes this huge competitive advantage. All right. I know we'd have to be 5-7, but whiskey and wine at the Bahamas Bowl would be clutch. You know, I'd be taking that trip. A 10:30 a.m. Central Time kick would not be ideal, though. Eric Waterrider, good morning. Getting the top baseball prospect obviously huge. Does that guy not always go pro? Eric, go back to the beginning of the show. Talked about it. Most of the time, yes. Yes. Getting him to campus, not easy, of course. There are more things at play with Connor Griffin than just, oh, he's going to be one of the top picks or the top pick and he's going to sign. There's more things at play there. Again, you've got a year and a half still before this is a thing, because he's a high school sophomore and he's reclassified to 2024. So he's not going to be, so it's not this upcoming summer's draft. It's the following summer's draft. So got a year and a half. A lot could happen in a year and a half. Irfan Sayad, the Mayo, 3411, Ron St. Pierre, Dalton Barnett. It's Drew's world. We're just living in it. Hashtag Team Drew. All right, y'all. As always, shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Of course, they've got locations all over the place, all the subspecialties. If you find yourself in need of an orthopedist, you know what to do. Call Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. You know what? David Tolson said it's jingle time. And you know what? I haven't given you the jingle in a hot minute, so here you go. Here you go, David. It's for you.
Hudco Roofing, Hudco Roofing. When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario.
All you need is Hudco.
Hudco Roofing, Hudco Roofing. Call Hudco Roofing.
364.
1007. Roofing, Hudco Roofing, Hudco Roofing.
Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. And Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com. If you are in any type of pain, book a session with Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions. Relief is just a session away. Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com. Boom. There, I'll go ahead and pin Restored Motions in there. Okay. Matt Bushart, baseball committee, Connor Griffin coming to campus 24, is best pure baseball player in a long time. Yeah, Matt, talked about it. Had the person that I respect most in baseball tell me yesterday, he is it's a guy who's been a scout for 30 years, said he is the best prospect he has ever scouted in this region, ever. Said he would take Connor Griffin today at 16 years old over Dylan Cruz. And a lot of you are going to roll your eyes, and it's not a disrespect to Dylan Cruz, who's incredible. But just saying purely as a prospect, today he would take 16-year-old Connor Griffin over Dylan Cruz, which is a mouthful and incredible. He said he's Bryce Harper. He's Josh Hamilton. He's a generational type player. Like, as a scout, maybe you see that guy one time in your career. So, let's see. Don't shoot the messenger, bro. I'm just telling you what I've been told. Sean Comiskey, I think I'm overreacting. For some reason, Breeze coaching the bowl game seems self-serving. Bro, that's the complete opposite of him coaching in the bowl game. He's not going to be a coach. He's not going to do anything of the sort. He's not the head coach. He's not taking an opportunity. They don't have a full staff because guys left with Jeff Brom to go to Louisville. So the reason Drew Brees doesn't need to be coaching in a bowl game. I mean, Drew Brees is doing it to bring some life and some juice, some attention to his alma mater, man. It's the complete opposite of being self-serving. What does Drew Brees need to coach a bowl game for? Hang on one second. just about done. We got to wrap this thing up. I got to get Drew dressed and get him to school. We'll change that smoke detector battery, which is beeping all over. Chirping. Eric Wilderod, apology, Scone. I knew I should have just asked $1 million listing question. I did watch $1 million listing last night, by the way. Drew is almost as big as Fathead Drew. Good morning. Yep, Fathead Drew's over there on the what's getting close, actually. It's actually getting pretty close. Yeah. Hudco Roofing on every $1 million listing home soon. I'd love to. Love it. Tim Gotro, good morning. Okay, we might be just about done. All right, everybody. Thavanka De Silva, good morning. Kelly setting up a very good class. Yeah, I mean, they're third in the country right now behind only Bama and Georgia. So, yes. The next big name to keep an eye on is Desmond Ricks, 5-star cornerback who's committing next week. So, could have another big fish in the boat next week. Wayne Blanchard, good morning. Merry Christmas to you as well. All right, y'all, I think we are done. Thank you for watching. YouTube, do us a solid. Smash that like button if you would. Subscribe up to the channel if you haven't done so yet. We're here every single day on Morning Scone. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page. Share the post. We appreciate y'all for being there. Okay, y'all have a fantastic day. And LSU Daily already live. So on your favorite podcast app, subscribe up there. And AFR3, Riot Radio Hours return. Looking forward to that. Okay, y'all have a great day. Peace.